Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to study unit number 3, Night Mail. It is a poem. It is written by W.H. Auden. First I will read it out and then we will go for its meaning, the meanings of difficult words, and then I will explain it and you will listen carefully. So I will start reading of the poem. Night Mail, W.H. Auden. This is the night mail crossing the border, bringing the check and the postal order. Letters for the rich, letters for the poor. The shop at the corner and the girl next door. Pulling up Bitok, a steady climb. The gradients against her, but she's on time. Past cotton grass and moorland boulder, shoveling white steam over her shoulder, snorting noisily as she passes. Silent miles of wind-bent grasses. Birds turn their heads as she approaches, stares from the bushes at her blank-faced coaches. Sheep, dogs cannot turn her course, they slumber on white paws across. In the farm she passes, no one wakes, but a jug in the bedroom gently shakes. Dawn freshens, the climb is done. Down toward Glasgow she descends. Hoping that you understand the reading and the difficult words you have to pronounce. Alright, now I will tell you something about the poet, which is also written in your book. Please see it. Wyson Hugh Auden. Auden was born on February 21st, 1907 and was died on September 29th, 1973. He was an English-American poet. Auden's poetry was noted for its stylistic and technical achievements, its engagement with politics, morals, love, and religion, and its variety in tone, form, and content. Now, the written content is engagement with politics. It means that the major themes of the Auden poems were based on politics, morals, mean religion, love, and the variety in tone which you can found in this poem. Tone means that you can see lot of stress, lot of intonations and imagery in this poem. So this is all about the W.H. Auden. Now this poem is very unique. Actually, this poem is written for a film. That film was almost about 25 minutes, and at the end of that film, the poem was recited by the poet himself. Now, come to the paraphrase or the explanation of the poem Night Mail. The first stanza, the first 6 lines are: This is the night mail crossing the border, bringing the check and the postal order. Letters for the rich, letters for the poor, the shop at the corner and the girl next door. Pulling a bit up, a steady climb, the gradients against her, but she's on time. Actually, in these lines, the poet wants to say that this train, as you can very well understand from the night mail, that it is not an ordinary train, but it is a night mail which is crossing the borders, and it is bringing letters, checks, and postal orders for rich and poor equally. The poet explains how a train brings different letters for the people in England to Scotland. This train is not an ordinary one. It is a night mail that travels at night to bring letters for people. Actually, that era was not so advanced, and the night mail connects the people who live in different areas. Um, the line where the poet is saying that pulling a pittock, a steady climb. Pittock is actually the name of a railway station. The poet is saying that though the way is steep, the night mail is still on the time. She, the poet wants to say that although all the ways, all the courses are very hard and difficult, but the night mail has no concern with all these. She has to move on. The next lines are past cotton grass and moorland border, shoveling with steam over her shoulder, snorting noisily as she passes, silent miles of wind bent grasses. Now you can see here some difficult words which are moorland. Moorland means huge uncultivated area. I am repeating, huge uncultivated area. The second one is shoveling. Shoveling means threw off. Threw off. THREWOFF. Threw off. Snorting. Snorting means a loud whistling sound. A loud whistling sound. WHISTLING. Whistling sound. Wind bent grasses. It means that the field of grasses which are bent due to wind. Now we come to the explanation of these lines. The poet is saying that though the way is steep, the night mail is still on the time. She passes moors and boulders, her white steam flowing behind her. The train passes and halts at the different station. It also passes through the cotton fields and uncultivated rocky lands without taking any notice of them. It seems that it is concerned with only transportation and communication. Here, train is personified as a calm and kind being. If you remember, I also told in class 6 that what is personification. Personification is a technical tool which is used in poetry. It means that when we give a human quality to a non human being. Again, I'm repeating, you can write it down on your copies too. The personification is a technical tool of a poetry in which a poet gives a human quality to a non-human being. For example, a train, a night mail is a non-living thing, but poet is using the word of her. You can see the second line, the eighth line when the poet is saying shoveling white steam over her shoulder. Her is used for a female, for a girl, for a human being, but here poet is using her for a train. But and train is a non-living thing, but but the poet is using her for a train. It means that he is giving a human quality to a non-living thing. This is mean it is called a personification. Come to line number 11. Birds turn their heads as she approaches, stares from the bushes at her blank face coaches. Sheep, dogs cannot turn her course. They slumber on with paws across. Again, some difficult meanings are here. For example, in first line, approaches. Approaches mean to come over. To come over. Stares. Stares mean to look closely. to look closely. Then the slumber. Slumber mean to sleep. Slumber mean to sleep. Hope you are writing down the meanings of the difficult words too. All right. Now come to the explanation. Now here the poet beautifully portrays the train, that how she noisily passes through the different landscapes. It is whistling and making loud noises. The train passes by stretched silent fields of banded grasses. When it approaches to the birds look at it with surprise. But the train has a blank face. It has no concern with birds' feeling, as it has to reach in time. Now here again the poet is using the technical tool of personification, as he used the word blank face. Blank face means the expressionless face. Expressionless face which a human being contains. But a train, can you think that a train has a face too? No. A train is a non-living thing, but a poet is giving the human quality of expressionlessness to a train. The poet is saying that when the night mail passes the animals, they are not disturbed, like the sheep and the dogs, because they know they cannot change its course. So they enjoy their sleep. The 15 lines. In the farm she passes, no one wakes, but a jug in the bedroom gently shakes. Dawn freshens, the climb is done. Dawn towards Glasgow she descends. Now here the word is gently. Gently means slowly. Course mean way, and the descends mean to reach. Now I have explained these lines. The poet is saying that the poet shows that the train is human and cannot disturb anyone from their peace. That the train is human in nature. As the train passes through a farm, no one wakes up. Only a jug in a bedroom get disturbed because of its vibration, and at last it reaches its destination, which is Glasgow. Actually, poet wants to tell you that the the night mail is human in nature. It is so kind, and that is so kind and calm and humble, that the main purpose, the main aim of the night mail is to connect the people with each other. It is not a person, it is not a thing to disturb anyone, but it brings the happiness, the freshness to all by bringing letters, checks, and postal orders for others. Hope you understand the poem very well.